We're checking connections. We'll be on in. Okay. So, whenever I go live, he just left. Whenever I go live during the day in a non Time Warp Live fashion, you know, Steve came across something that was astounding. So,
Really astounding.
really astounding. So, oh, good. It just look live now. Let's see if we can hear us. So, I'm testing volume like I always do.
Can you hear us?
Is it playing? Yep. Okay, good.
So got a call to go look at a monster collection of somebody that passed
And
away.
a crazy one. I mean, so like I said, whenever I pop on in a non-time warp time or non-TWL live time, you know then that Steve found something really good. Really good. So, Steve, this is Universal Monster. Look at this stuff. Can you believe this? And some of you can't even see half of it because I'm standing in your way. Let me move over here.
This is Universal Monsters and some.
So we're going to go through, we're going to tell you this stuff. It just walked in the door, you guys.
Nothing's priced, nothing's been researched.
Thank you. Sounds good, they
It
said.
won't be available yet.
No, so
Soon.
we had to jump on live to show you because you don't come across this type of a collection that often, do you?
No, not this immense. And there are some newer pieces, some 90s and 2000s, but there's some 70s pieces that preliminary research says they're holy grails of their collecting field.
So, who is the main creator of the monster models? Usually, it's Aurora, right?
Monster models were originally started by Aurora in '61. The Frankenstein was the first one, and over the course of the next 8 years, they released a couple a year, to where they had released 13 by 1969, and those 13 are called the Aurora. They're called the Aurora 13. They're all the originals. They were sometimes redone, reissued, but the hard base line was 13 figures. And we actually have one here that says it's an Aurora that isn't part of that 13. So as far as I can tell, it doesn't exist. But we have a box.
We have the box. Let me preface it that we don't have the actual model.
No.
We have pieces of it.
No,
what was
that's
in
a
the
different
box?
empty box.
Oh.
I've got 3 empty boxes from Aurora, and I've got 2 sealed Aurora glow-in-the-dark models from '69. But
Which we
the
can show you
intriguing
those
one
too.
is the Invisible Man
Right here.
was not released, from anything I can see, by
Check this out.
Aurora, so it shouldn't exist. This is their
Aurora.
1969
Right here.
Aurora glow-in-the-dark.
Look at this.
Phantom of the Opera, still sealed in its cellophane.
Still sealed. Now that's unusual that it's still sealed in its cellophane, right?
Usually kids would at least open it up and take a look.
Right. So I was looking for a date, but they don't
69.
have. Oh yes. Oh, right here. 72.
It came out in '69.
Yeah. So this is a 1972's Phantom of the Opera Aurora model, still sealed in this package. It's crazy. Here's the Frankenstein. And look at this. This Frankenstein is too cool. Kit shown to include. It's so cool. It blows my mind when we come across Aurora models from the 70s and 60s. Some of them go back to the 50s, right?
Oh, Aurora does, yeah.
Yeah. Of this magnitude. This is crazy. Made in England, everything. So,
But this is the box we were talking about. This for Aurora for the Invisible Man.
the Invisible Man. Look at this. Isn't this
Everything
crazy?
says this doesn't exist, so I don't know. It's rough.
Right?
I'd love to have had the model in it, but beggars can't be choosers, so I'll just take the box.
Isn't that cool? I know.
But really in poor condition. But
So, some people, like, I know that people are huge collectors. So, you've researched, you've looked this up, you've tried to find it, you cannot find it.
well, I did the history of Aurora and monster models, and that is not mentioned. And they're very detailed in what they cover.
No, because what would it be? Just an outfit. Right?
Yeah.
But this is supposedly does not exist, and as you can see, we're holding it in our hands. I wish the model was in it. That would be cool, but it would probably then be just astronomical in price.
A lot of people may not realize it, but Aurora went out of business, and they sold the molds to a company called Polar Lights.
Look at that.
Polar Lights used the same molds, made the same models in a different colored plastic, so you could tell the difference in the real and the repops.
Isn't that cool?
But they've since been bought out, and now I think it's playing Mantis. But what's funny is when Polar Lights got it, they used the same Aurora logo in the oval, and they just put their name. So a quick glance makes you think it's still the original Aurora, but it's Polar Lights.
So we're talking about Universal Monsters. Steve got a huge collection of vintage, and yes, 1990s and early 2000s are vintage. It's 20 years, but also 1970s, and I think some of these some of those 60s. Those monster ones back there. 70s. Okay, you guys are gonna see. I would stay on because you're gonna see some crazy stuff here in a minute. Stuff that you probably won't see that often. Now
this is intriguing. It's from 2000. It's by Playing Mantis, which is the one that was doing the repops of Aurora models. But they're using the Aurora name on this again, so I'm not sure how that works. But they did Rodan, King Ghidorah, and Godzilla.
So this
So
one
there
is a
were
repop.
originals for you. Yeah, this
Right.
is a repop, sealed repop from 2000. But they did do originals of this that were released in the late 60s, early 70s. But this one is a repop.
So this is one of the empty boxes. The creature.
This is another empty box.
Another empty box we have.
It's
This got pieces
His
in
body's missing, but his hands and some of
Right.
his parts are there. But a lot of times, guys have the models built, and they want to get the box and display it behind their model on a shelf, so they'll still pay good money for the boxes, to the point that the boxes are frequently reproduced and sold
So
on
is this-
eBay as reproductions just for display purposes.
Is this the repop of that? This is 1999.
No, it would have been a different release.
It's a 1999.
Yep, different release.
Different release.
Yeah, this is the earlier one. This
Right.
is the later one.
So this one is 1972. So 1972, 1999. So is it so 1972 Aurora Creatures, 1999 Aurora Creature. Now, Steve, the question. You see how the Aurora has the A and the Aurora is inside the A?
Yeah.
And then here we have the circle.
Yeah, they've been playing with it. I don't know what the different. I'm not up on every aspect of their logo and when it
This
changed.
is what I'm
and
talking about, the
morphed.
oval versus
The
this.
oval is what people used to look for to identify Aurora,
Isn't that crazy?
and that's the one
Alright.
that Polar Lights put their name in where the Aurora was, and it fools a lot of people.
So before we get into all this, you have some rare stuff over here you want to talk about?
Yeah, I don't know much about the company on this.
Wait till
these-
you see these, you guys.
These are by
It's
a
crazy.
company called Lincoln International, and some of the comps that I saw,
I'll be Vanna White.
some of the comps that I saw
Look at this.
indicated they were the holy grail of the
Isn't
monsters.
that crazy? Look at that. Here
They're
is
very cheaply made,
Hunchback.
so they probably didn't survive, and they were probably cheaper than most of the others.
8-inch monsters.
These are two empty boxes.
Right.
They
But
were
they're great for
separated from the
display.
figure. I was hoping to find the figure in boxes I went through, but I didn't.
I know we have figures over
But
here,
the
but they
Phantom
not these
Did
ones.
have his original box.
Ooh, look at that.
And that's the Phantom. This
So-
is Lincoln International,
What year are these?
60s into the 70s.
60s into the 70s?
But this same company, I think these are a little earlier.
Mm-hmm.
These are 60s. So even these two empty boxes will have value to a collector to use.
Especially if
to
they
display
have
them.
Especially if they have the pieces.
Yeah.
The actual doll.
Well, the loose dolls on these go for a couple hundred up to several $100s for the loose dolls.
Aren't these
To
cool?
find an original box to display with it, most people would be pretty excited.
So what else you have over there?
These are the other rarities. This is
I'll be Vanna.
Lincoln International Hunchback.
Fully jointed 8-inch
This is
monster.
the Phantom of the Opera.
And the Phantom of the Opera, the
These are
Hunchback.
Lincoln International, and they're mint on card.
Isn't that cool? They are mint on card. You don't find stuff mint on card here. I need to show them.
Here's the mummy.
I need to show them the Phantom on this side. See, here's the Phantom, you guys. And they're
Here's-
on card.
This is the mummy. Preliminary lookups on this mummy is he's 1,000 to 1,500.
Wow, that's pretty cool. You know what? That's hilarious. Let me see that. His face kind of resembles Pinhead. It doesn't it? Isn't that cool? I love that. These are rare. Lincoln International.
Yes.
And
extremely.
these are they're Hong Kong, made in
Yeah.
Hong
I
Kong.
think they're like 72, early 70s.
Yeah, there's no date on them yet.
Early
So
70s.
we're gonna set. Now those are cool. I love the graphics.
These I didn't find much on yet. They were manufactured in Hong Kong for SS Kresge Company. It's two of the same one.
For those
It's
of you who
from
don't know, SS Kresge is Kmart.
It's the precursor to Kmart. But these, there's two of them. They're the same. And these were made exclusively for SS Kresge, which would have been sold at Kmart's. And judging from the graphics, I think they're 70s.
70s.
But, what is it? The famous monsters of legend.
So Troy, Michigan, right on it. Look at that. It says Troy, Michigan, right on
These
it.
are some real rarities.
Isn't that cool? And look, it gives you an like a description of what they did, of like a brilliant scientist, like their storyline.
Yeah.
All right, so you want to do this, or do you want to do these, or
Well, one of the other cool things is
this down here?
I have one that's a parts, and then one that's
You have to lift
fully
it up; they can't
functioning.
see it.
The box is rough, but I have the Frankenstein figure.
Check this out, you guys. Oops.
It's called the Monsterizer. It came out in the 70s. It's from Remco.
Remco, the Monsterizer. We have the box here. Isn't that cool?
And this is the...
That's the actual piece.
And this is the actual play piece.
So we're going to show you that it lights up in both.
Frankenstein.
So
You put him on here. He had rubber bands that held him down onto the gurney. And you put him in. What do you see? Put him in, and then you roll it back in. And then you hit the button, and the light comes on and illuminates his face and brings him to life.
isn't that cool? So, I mean,
These are
So is this-
don't survive with the box. It's
is this
somewhat
intact
rare.
then?
Yeah,
So we have a fully intact one.
it's played with, but
Isn't that crazy?
and then we have one. You can hold that one. And
I got it.
having the
got
battery
it.
compartment is a big deal on these. The battery compartment's always missing.
All right, so I got this. I'm going to show it close to you guys here. Check it out. And you saw that it lighted up.
And then we have a second
Did
one.
you show here that it lit up?
I think so.
How do you light it up?
Just push this.
You can see that it lights up.
You see his face? Get illuminated.
You got to get it up higher.
There, go ahead.
I'll do it. Let me move the box.
And then this
here.
is the same toy, but this one doesn't have all of its pieces, so it'd be at parts.
So,
But
What
for
am I
someone that doesn't
pressing?
have a complete
This?
one, yep.
where did it's not lighting up?
It doesn't, it's not real bright. Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah, it is. Look at that.
in
So
fact-
it's you see it's lighting up,
That Frankenstein will glow too.
and then the Frankenstein glows as well. So it's pretty cool. I mean, these things you don't come across every day, so we had to jump on and show you because it's just nutty. I love it. So that can go back down there. And, you know, while he's picking out his next piece, look at this. We showed you all the different monster magazines that we carry here because we look for Universal Monsters because it's so cool. I have the monster scene here. This is not terribly old. These are probably from the 90s, but it's got the Bride of Frankenstein on it, which is pretty cool. Love it. Oh, absolutely. I'm glad you're watching. Thank you for watching. We've got some horror stuff coming too, so you should pay attention there. Hi, Mom. My mom's watching.
Hi, Marilyn.
Yeah. I know you don't get to see Steve that often, so, you know,
And you
a
happen
lot
to
of
be
peop-
home standing from the heat.
well, of course, I wouldn't go outside either. Okay, so we did this, and then we got Boo Berry.
And there's a Boo Berry.
Right there, you're on camera. At the back of you is on camera. Boo Berry.
Boo Berry.
Okay, so now let's start about this stuff. Here, oh wait, before we do that, why don't you do these little ones down here?
These are mostly Migos, as near as I can tell. I haven't really had a chance. Just odd Migo figures.
Mm-hmm. Both of them.
Not sure who's who yet.
Yeah.
Got to figure it out.
Yeah, well, we know this is Dracula.
And then we got a bunch of
Check that out.
the Bindies.
Isn't that cool?
The kind of rubber Bindies.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is Buffalo Bill Migo. But
Buffalo Bill.
and this one, I'm not sure who he is yet, but he's a dapper dude.
I think that Jason thinks he might be Bruce Wayne, because,
could be.
yeah,
Yeah. Very well could be.
because we have Robin out there. So we have Robin, so we're assuming that's Bruce Wayne. So now let's get in. Now down here we have some stuff. I'll get down here and hand to you. I'm going to move these because this is one thing I
So
want.
as the monster thing took off in the 90s and 2000s, people started looking for it. Universal started producing a lot of stuff and merchandising it. But then a lot of other companies were doing anything that was just different or monster related, even if it wasn't the original Universals. And Sideshow Toy Company did all of these that you see in the background here.
Mm-hmm.
And these are all
We're going to show them.
box sets of toys. Most of them are
Did you
from the
show
late
this?
90s, early 2000s. Yeah, this is
Is that one of them?
this is actually Universal.
Oh, okay. What's this?
This is a 99 Universal. This is a robot.
Mm-hmm.
He's
But not
terribly old. He is probably, he's from 2000.
Mm-hmm.
That is now 23 years ago, so.
So this is the original Crow, right?
Yes, with Brandon Lee.
With Brand, yeah.
Here's the
Ooh,
robot.
look at the robot. That's pretty
Now-
cool. Oh, it's all metal.
This would be what's called a skirted robot.
Isn't that cool?
Some of the most valuable robots in history. They called them the Gang of Five, I believe it is. And there were 5 robots made in Japan that go for tens of thousands, $50,000, $60,000 per robot if you have a box and all. But they're called skirted because they don't have legs. They have a skirt that goes down to the ground and then wheels on the bottom. And this would obviously be probably I haven't looked yet, but a reproduction of one of the originals that's worth tens of thousands.
I just sent this to Tesco. So bear with us. That's all right. Takes a minute. Well, while you're doing robots, you want to do him? Do you know who that is?
That's the robot from Lost in Space.
It is. Oh yeah.
He's the 90s version, but he's still highly collectible. People love him. And he still does really well in the
I'll take
secondary
that.
market.
There you go.
And that's the robot from Lost in Space.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this one is 97. Yeah, it is. Trend Masters. But still highly collectible and looks great on a shelf.
So then we have the Crow figure.
This is Movie Maniacs, which is McFarlane.
Yeah.
And this is 99. A lot of this is newer stuff.
Well,
but,
newer stuff, but still vintage.
The few 70s pieces, I think, make up in rarity for the commonality of some of the other.
We're just showing you a lot of these pieces. Love Lost in Space. Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? I love Lost in Space too. Okay, so these are some of those, and then here you can show that because it's down
These
here.
are the box sets I was talking about. They almost look like a VHS cover.
They do.
In fact, I thought they were. They're 12-inch figures. They're by Universal. This one is. This is by Sideshow Toy, which did most of what's up here, including the Twilight Zone.
And we're going to show you all of these so that way you get an idea of what they
These
are.
are 12-inch figures.
And if you see me on the phone, it's
and they're
because I'm
authorized
sending
by
them out.
Universal. They're made a little better than the ones in the 60s and 70s. They're a little more durable. It has great graphics on the box, and the box displays well when the cover opens. All of these have covers that open.
Okay, so what did I give you? I gave you Wolfman.
Yep.
So why don't we do Creature?
Okay. And this is the Creature from the Black Lagoon. Once again, this was by Universal. This is 2003. But
Look at these. These characters are crazy. I love them. And if you collect these are the things to grab, right?
yes, they didn't make stuff like this back in the original when people were collecting this.
So
There's
there's
Invisible Man.
the Invisible Man. And then we have, who is this?
That's at London After Midnight. It's Lon Chaney. This is Lon Chaney from the movie he did, London After Midnight. I think it was a silent film. If not, it was early 30s and it was sound.
And then here's Lon Chaney again.
He's the master of horror.
He was the master of horror, yes. This is Lon Chaney too? No.
No,
Those are so cool.
This is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
So this isn't over yet because we've got some crazy stuff that's going to be coming back here. Jason's going to bring back here.
This is Creature Walks Among Us, which I think was the sequel.
Oh, really? To what? The Wolfman?
No,
Oh.
first Creature. Creature in Black Lagoon. But the graphics really make the box.
And then we have this one.
This is the Wolfman. This is him as a human. Lyle Talbot.
And then here's Boris Karloff as the mummy.
The mummy.
And here's the Wolfman again. So we're getting up here too. And then we got one more. Oh, we got all those. Okay. So this is the Wolfman before he turns, I think. Aren't these? This is awesome, isn't it? It's the coolest thing in the world, I think. Check this one out. There's Frankenstein. I've got 3 Frankensteins coming. Well, this is Frankenstein meets a werewolf.
The box says Bride, but I think he was just the companion piece for that issue.
right? And then here is Boris Karloff's Screen Edition Monsters. I love all the pieces and the fact that they got the brain in there and stuff. And then one more of these, and
Once again,
that's
these
this
are
one.
authorized universal releases.
Oh, that's
In
a
the
cool
late 90s and
Phantom.
early 2000s.
That's a cool Phantom, isn't it?
Now, this is from the silent one.
Mm-hmm.
This is the silent version of Phantom of the Opera.
So, those are a lot of Universal monsters. Before we talk about this stuff up here, we've got more Universal here. Well, they're the boxes of the Fly.
Now, there's some other boxes.
And then we got some good hardback books along with it. That's good for it. Oh no, they're not. I didn't even know there was more in the bag. Oh, there's more of those too. There's the Joker.
This is the Joker. There you go.
The Joker. So that's why it leads me to believe it's Batman.
There's a mummy. I haven't determined what company that one is yet.
Not yet.
I didn't look at it.
Oh, that's good to know. That's interesting. That I didn't even notice that we still had all of these ones in here. I have some of those up here.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch. Well,
Yeah.
guess I don't have to count.
They're
Everyone knows
stretchies.
the company that made the rubber toys in the 60s, 70s, 80s called Imperial.
This is
These are
Imperial.
later Imperial. These are monsters, life like Dracula. They're rubber and stretchable. You can stretch them,
Mhm.
bend them. I mean, they stretch pretty good.
They do stretch pretty good. It says the home of Buddy L Toys.
Oh, it's the same company that made Buddy L toys.
Yeah.
But this is the ones they offer.
These
These
are
from 2005.
2005. So, you know, almost vintage. Vintage is 20 years, so we still have a couple years before these become vintage, but they're still unique because Time Warp is pretty much past, present, future. So,
Everybody loves these stretchy things.
hmm I mean, look,
They've got all of them.
we've got all of them.
Here's the
And here's Creature from the Black Lagoon. You can see that up here, kind of.
Yep.
With
These are all Imperial.
Yep, and then of course the werewolf and what I don't know what that is.
What's that?
This one? It's just
Skeleton.
a skeleton.
Yeah.
Okay. So all of these are going to be out soon. Now, up here, check this out. If you're a sci-fi person, this is the Outer Limits. But you know what? Look how cool the look at that. Look how cool that is. Isn't that cool?
You see it from there. These are made by Sideshow Toys too, the same company that did the Universals. But this, they got a special authorization to do it for TV Land. So TV Land authorized Sideshow Toys to do these in the early 2000s. And that's some of the aliens from probably a very iconic episode of Outer Limits.
And then we have all the Twilight.
Yeah, we have a lot of Twilight Zone.
A lot of the Twilight Zone, which are really cool. As you can see behind me, we got an entire collection. Oh, I forgot about him. I forgot he was up there, to be honest with you.
And this is
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
So the new movie's coming out, and you can walk in and see the new movie of Nosferatu carrying the Nosferatu doll. I don't know what this is. I think it's the spaceship. Is it? Oh.
Why didn't you just open it?
Oh, I didn't know it opened. See, silly. Fun stuff, right? Okay, so we're going to open it the other way. We'll let you do that.
Yeah, all these have a flat cover. that
Yeah.
opens, you can see it. So there's that.
Look. Look at that. Twilight Zone. So we have a lot of Twilight Zone here, so it's crazy. All of this stuff will be out eventually in the next week or so, but we have some other really cool things, and I'm going to see if Jason is with somebody, because he's going to bring them back, and I'm going to hold it up so you can see the actual size of those. What?
Should I say what it is?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, this person also collected Kiss stuff, and he also collected Beatles stuff. So there's a set of 4 of the 1998 Love Gun. I think they're 2 foot tall, huge boxes, but they're really cool Kiss figures. And then I also have the set of 4 of the Beatles. He's bringing it back if he doesn't kill someone or damage everything. These are the Kiss Love Gun dolls. They be big dolls. And there's a set of 4. Set of 4. They're all in the original boxes.
Are you guys
They
there?
were
Still sorry.
a Spencer's
Look at
Gift
the size of
exclusive.
these. It's craziness.
Spencer's Gift exclusive up here. And
We have all 4.
they were $180 each, new in '98. Price tag's still on them. But what's really cool is, when
Yeah.
you look at the top of the box, it's got
Check this out, you
cellophane
guys.
cutouts to spell out Kiss.
Kiss when you line them up. Kiss. So we have all 4 of these.
And I think they're about 24 inch, 28 inch.
We have all 4 of them. Don't mind me.
See, bring
I'm
them.
going to take that from you, and he'll take that from you.
This is the other one that he brought back.
That way you can use your hands. Here, Steve.
They got some weird chest hair on him.
That's hilarious.
And it has audio too, but I think the batteries are probably.
Dead on in the box. You're going to have to open it up
Yes,
so
it
you can
is.
see.
I don't know which is which. I'm looking at it from here. But
I don't
here's
know his name.
number
Does it
3.
say it on there?
Probably does.
Yeah. I mean, these things are enormous, you guys. And it's the K for Kiss.
Yeah, you'll do the first.
Mm-hmm. And then we got one. Oh, here it is right here. Thank you.
And this is the 4th. I think that's Peter Chris, is it?
Is it? Yeah. The cat, yeah.
But
You okay?
these things are almost half life size.
They are. I'm going to get around you here.
Really cool.
So our toy section is growing, it's expanding, it's getting huge and crazy, and the size of these things are nuts because I need another store. We need another store apparently. Can you guys even see me back here? This is only too high, and it's already up to here. You know what I
The
mean?
figures themselves are, I think, 24 to 28 inches.
28 inches for these. So
3
these
inches of it is boot.
are boot. So these things are going to be out on the floor, and they're great gifts for people who like.
We will be
Yes.
selling them as a set.
Oh, are we?
We can-
Well, that would make sense, I guess. So, aren't these awesome things, you guys? He picked this up just the other week, and we're going to do a show on it on Tuesday. You bought how many trolls?
304 trolls. Another person called me with their
Come on,
collection. They
So
wanted
you
to
can
sell
see.
their collection, and it was trolls, and there's 304 of those.
I know, a nice score, and we didn't even show you everything. Like we have the $6 Million Man
Lunchbox.
lunchbox over there with the thermos, a couple other thermoses.
This guy's
He's still
filthy
dirty.
but
He's still dirty. I haven't
Crack it
cleaned
up.
him yet.
well, he worked before.
Isn't that funny? So, and then of course we've got, I don't know if you saw it, we got the different masks as well. And then comic books, all sorts of
Furniture.
stuff.
Yeah,
And-
there's a lot of stuff in this lot.
Some of the comic books up front. What else is up there?
You got to bring in. We have the large porcelain 2-foot Beatles dolls in
The
acrylic
Beatles
cases.
dolls. The 2-foot Beatles dolls.
They haven't even come in the store yet.
And then the Beatles models are up there too.
And there's a set of Beatles models that are built, and they're all playing their instruments.
Hmm.
There's just a lot of stuff.
So this is, think about it now. You guys, you have gift giving events coming up. You have stuff like that. This is the time to grab this stuff because it will not last long. And even if you're thinking, God, those are going to be expensive, they will not last long.
We have layaway on items over $50.
Yep.
And then this, I don't know, there's no information on it as to when it was made, but I think it's the Hobgoblin.
Yeah. So we have all kinds of different things here. On top of everything else we have here, and we are still running, and it pertains to this as well. We're still running that when you spend $25 or more, you get 20% off. So I mean,
Oh, in Maryland, I also found
This one.
2 Jan and Dean albums, one of
Oh,
45
yeah.
and one of 78, and they're Jan and Arnie. Before they were Jan and Dean, some guy named Arnie was with Jan singing.
and we say
Kind of-
this because we
kind
know
of
my mom
different.
grew up with Jan and Dean, so went to school at the same school with them. So
I think that was everything.
she knew them. Yeah, I think that's everything that we have back here, and I just wanted. We jumped on quickly. We wanted to make sure that you guys saw this, that it was out there, that you know it is here. It is not currently on the floor. It will be on the floor. Some of it might be today, and then going forward every day. A lot of it will probably be out on the floor tomorrow, depending on how busy we are. And then, yeah, it's going to be fun. Look, here's Spider-Man. Oh! Oh my goodness.
Oh,
horror fans, we've got Jason.
I got
This is just the
I
empty
got the box top, and then the figure. He's a little rough.
Yeah,
His arm
this is
came
Michael.
off.
Here's Michael. We got Michael. He has some condition issues. I may put his arm back on him, but he does not have his knife. So I've got Michael, and he's a huge doll too. But here is Jason right here, and
This one's
is,
from '88.
This is Jason
We have the box.
from Friday the 13th Part 2. It's this one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Now the bag is from Friday the 13th Part 2, but I believe it was added because I believe this is this doll and the mask is missing. But if you pull off the mask, there's his face, and that is Jason's face,
And this
as you can see there.
This one's 1988 as well.
Yeah. So this may or may not be original to it, but in Friday the 13th Part 2, he did wear a bag over his head because he did not obtain his mask until Part 3. Because in Part 1 he was not the killer. So yeah. So his machete's missing too. But this is, when is this from? What does it say?
88.
1988. Look how big this doll is. I mean, the new ones, they're not this big. They did a lot with
And
these.
these are just statues of sorts. They're not jointed.
They're rubber,
they don't
though.
bend. Yeah, they're latex, but they
Mhm.
don't bend. There's no movement to them. They just stand and stare at you.
It's pretty cool. So, anyways, we're getting some good stuff, and I'm excited about it.
Maybe do something later with the Beatles. We haven't brought it
Yeah.
up in the car.
Well, we just had the big Beatles auction that we were part of, and now we're getting more Beatles stuff, and I just love it. I'm so excited with all this stuff. Did you show the $6 million man?
There's a $6 million man lunchbox. It is missing its handle.
Okay. It is.
It
However,
does have the thermos.
I'm going to tell you what I like about this, though. Missing its lid. Is this area right here? It's supposed to be your information. So if it's lost or whatever, and they liked him so much that they just put they glued a picture of him of the $6 million man in there. I had this when I was a kid. I had this one. I had the Bionic Woman, and I had Wonder Woman. And then I kept giving them away for better food, and finally my dad said, no more.
I never had a lunchbox. We walked home for lunch, so
Mhm.
I always won the Land of the Giants or Lost in Space Dome. Those were the two.
Dome?
There was a dome lunchbox like the guys used to take to work. They did those for the Munsters, and they did those for the Lost in Space.
You know what? I'm surprised he didn't collect any Munster stuff. That's surprising.
Don't know.
Anyways, so thank you for jumping on here with me,
Yes,
Steve.
thank you for visiting.
And come in and take a look, because some of this stuff is going to be gone really quick. We have a lot of customers that are Universal monster collectors and horror collectors, and come in, pick up a doll, pick up a magazine. We've got them both. It's crazy. This is a good haul.
A lot of stuff.
A good haul. Anyways, thank you guys, and I just wanted to show you, and I hope you enjoyed it. And many of you, well, hey, Annie.
Hey, Annie.
Annie's watching. That's cool. So now we're coming to the end. So you guys have a good day, and we
Thanks.
will talk to you later, okay? And now.
See you later.